Hi human. Today I wanted to talk about another AI rant about what the YouTube CEO said, that AI will enable new class of creators who previously lacked the skills and equipment to make content, which is really ironic because a skill is a learned ability or developed aptitude to perform a task well, combining knowledge, practice, and execution for effective results, which is also legit the opposite of what AI does because you neither have any knowledge, you neither do any task, you don't really practice anything, and you don't execute anything, but the AI does everything, because a lobotomized devolved homunculus could make AI videos on YouTube and have the same quality as the highest grossing AI video generation bullshit slop YouTube channel. And the average AI video also drives me closer to becoming a brilliant mathematician who will briefly work as an assistant professor at the University of California. And also, his other thing that he said, that AI will make our ability to detect and enforce on violation content better, more precise, and able to cope with scale. Every week, literally, the capabilities get better, which is really interesting because the last few weeks alone, there have been numerous cases of channels being falsely flagged, demonetized, or directly taken down because of the AI moderation, steps that were immediately reverted as soon as a human checked in. Like, for example, one creator with over 650,000 subscribers just got taken down for no reason. A video got demonetized and age restricted for this clip. Yeah. For violent graphic, and so many other channels and issues with so many other people being wrongfully banned. So yeah, YouTube is doing a great job. But then I saw Moist Critical's video on this and decided to just link his video in the description and watch his rant and talk about actually really good news. Because Bonnie Blue was arrested and is now facing up to 15 years in Bali prison. Now, if you're not familiar with Bonnie Blue and you didn't just have some form of Winter Soldier moment or some form of flashback that flashed you back to a video that you saw like 8 months ago, she is legitimately the living embodiment of a succubus. That is the best way to describe it. She is famous for stuff like having sex with 1,000 men in under 12 hours, I'm pretty sure, some of which were married and some of which were, by her own description, barely legal, which she apparently made a movie about, which has a 4.1 on IMDb. Isn't that a great thing to say? Doesn't that make you feel amazing to hear somebody say, yeah, I love fucking barely legal humans? And saying that she specifically wants to target young, barely 18 men to have sex with them.
And I'm going to start at the top of the country, work my way down.
Wow.
And visit as many universities as possible to bang so many barely legals.
Very nice.
Which I think the best way to put this in perspective is just imagine a man saying that. Yes, the rumors are true. I flew to Australia with the goal to offer sex to 18-year-old college girls. What's so bad about that? You see how that sounds? Really fucking weird. Oh, and by the way, she was also banned from Australia for her plans to film porn with barely legal schoolboys. So we're really dealing with a harlot here, with a real EDP female. She is the embodiment of one of the two types of women that exist in the head of the average alpha male podcast bros and street interviewers that got their equipment for way too cheap compared to the damage they've done to society. I think we should start putting podcast terrorists on microphones. And I want to put this disclaimer. Women deciding to make OnlyFans or adult content is not the part that bothers me. I don't have room to speak about that. I don't care what you do. It's your body, your choice. I don't give a fuck. My issue with her specifically is that she is constantly pulling public stunts, like for example faking her arrest, targeting specifically young men, doing this edgy type shit, endangering people, and in general damaging people's brains. And now that you're familiar with her, her recent stunt was going to Bali and Indonesia with her Bonnie Blue Bang Bus. That's not a joke, that's the title. I didn't make it up. Some random TikTok song did.
And if the Bonnie Blue Bang Bus crashes into us.
What a horrible day to be a mechanic. Imagine trying to clean that out. Shit straight out of a horror movie, straight out of a scene of Dexter. And with her goal to go through the entire country and pick up young college students to, well, have sex with them. And film it. But she was then arrested. Get your dances out, you can emote, you can be jolly about this, especially after the information that I just provided to you. The succubus has been slain. Because the production of pornographic material in Bali is illegal. A fact that I assume girl Bonnie was pretty much aware of, but because she wanted to get more edgy and edgy with her content, she just didn't care about it. She's kind of like the Jack Doherty of porn stars. I think that title has been thrown around a lot, and I think we gotta toot that back a little bit. I think Jack Doherty authority is a title that should not be bestowed upon every single individual that does something remotely bad, but I think it's fitting for her specifically. Blue, whose real name is Tia Billinger, was apparently arrested alongside 17 other male tourists in Badung, Indonesia on Friday. She didn't even get the target audience of college students. That was just random stream snipers. She must have been really upset at that moment. I wasn't even able to get to the barely legals. The police claims she operated an illicit adult film production in a van known as Bang Bus, where she produced explicit videos featuring foreign tourists. What? Bonnie Blue operated an illicit adult film production from her Bang Bus? How did you get that idea? Items confiscated including video equipment, sex toys, and costumes labeled School Bonnie Blue. And while some of the men with her were released and can return home as far as I understand, she is facing, if found guilty, up to 15 years in prison and fines of approximately $360,000. And I gotta chime in and say, if found guilty, not to toot my own horn or call myself an expert in Sherlock Holmes, I feel like there's a lot of evidence lying around, just a suspicion that there was filmings happening there, considering that is the entire reason she flew there, openly stated by herself. Oh, but what really drives me up the fucking wall is this. Blue has been released from custody, but reports state that her passport has been seized by authorities, meaning obviously she can't just flee the country, do a crack and dip, a low-tier god, one might say. After her arrest, Blue was asked if she would continue making adult content in Bali, because she was actually banned from OnlyFans as far as I know, which I didn't even know was possible for just making porn. That's the equivalent of seeing somebody getting banned from fucking Rumble or something. But I think it also goes to show what kind of person we're dealing here with. Had a cheeky reply to this, subscribe and you'll find out. Hey, so Bonnie, quick tip, not legal advice. I'm no legal eagle over here, not qualified to speak. The worst thing you can possibly do is imply that you're going to commit the crime again that you just got arrested for. She thought it was all an edgy joke. She's immune just because she does social media. Guess what? Social media part is the part that's the crime. Okay, I hope this cheered you up a little bit that somebody got punished that's actually a little evil. Wanted to yap about this instead of the YouTube stuff. Goodbye.